It's your pal, E. Christopher Clark, live from the floor of my office. At some point, I'll give you a tour of our little space here. I gotta do that. I feel like the '90s aughts kid. I was a kid in the '90s. Who am I kidding? I wasn't an aughts kid, but I feel like the part of me that watched too many episodes of MTV Cribs back in the day. I just want to be able to open up this door and say, "Hey, welcome to my crib," or, you know, do a shot of my bed and say, "This is where the magic happens." Those are things that I feel like I need to do at some point in my life. But anyway, there's a reason that I'm coming to you live from the floor of my office, and it has to do with this bookshelf over here. The bookshelf that you're seeing, I hope, if this is all framed properly, is my to-read shelf. And I know there's a lot of people out there who don't read very much anymore, or if they read on their Kindle or their iPad in iBooks or whatever. I like hard copy books. I tried the ebook route for a long time, and it wasn't quite for me for a number of reasons that I can get into in a different video. If you'd like, you can leave a comment down below if that's something you're looking for. So I got a lot of books I've collected over the last year or so that I want to read. But I want to talk specifically about this shelf here. This, let me just get it all up here. These are the literary magazines that I have subscribed to over the last year. Now, when I did this, when I subscribed to them, I had the ambition to start placing my stories in literary magazines. It's an ambition I've had for a long time. It's kind of what you do if you're writing short stories. The literary magazine is the route that you take. And then you write a novel, because nobody buys short story collections. They buy novels. And then maybe for your second or third book, they're like, that short story collection you said you had, maybe we can put that out now. But the way that you make a name for yourself in short stories generally is by publishing in magazines. So I got all these. But you remember I told you this is my to-read shelf. So this is a year's worth of magazines that I haven't read. I haven't read them at all. And they're all good magazines. I know some of the folks at Post Road. I have five issues of Post Road right here. 5 issues of Post Road that I have not read. I have many issues of the fabulous magazine One Story that I haven't read. I have 2 issues of Plowshares, 2 issues of the soon-to-be late great Glimmer Train, which was one of the first magazines I ever wanted to be published in. Unfortunately, they're going out of business, as I've heard. I have the Kenyon Review, where a number of folks have been published. I have 6 issues of the Kenyon Review. Haven't read any of them. Not for lack of wanting to, but just for lack of time. You can see I have a ton of books, and they keep piling up because I'm a very slow reader, which is a hard thing to be when you love to read. You want to get through more things. I'm also a very slow watcher of TV shows. I enjoy things that reward you for your attention. I am not the type that can be playing on my phone while watching a TV show. I'm not the type that listens to music while I'm reading. When I'm consuming stories, I have a single focus. So it takes me a long time to get through anything. But this shelf is stressing me out. It's stressing me out a lot, and I need to do something about that. So in the fall, I teach a magazine production class at the university where I teach, and I am going to donate these books to my students. Because I always ask my students to go out. I don't ask them to buy a textbook for that class, but I ask them to go out and buy a literary magazine. And if I can basically take these 20-something literary magazines and give them to the students and save the students that money, I'll feel even better about myself. Um, and because right now I'm dealing with a case of what Merlin Mann was the first person to introduce this term to me, a sunk cost fallacy. Now I'm going to explain it poorly, so if you know about sunk cost fallacy, please don't hate on me in the comments. Definitely expand upon the stuff that I missed or that I got wrong, but don't hate. So sunk cost fallacy is this notion that we get all tied up and hung up on the money or the energy or the whatever that we've poured into something, and we think we gotta keep at it. I can't get rid of that book because I spent money on that book. I can't get rid of that piece of technology because I spent all that money on that technology. I can't stop doing this thing because I spent years doing this thing. I have so I deal with that, a lot. As much as I'm aware of it, as a thing that's out there in the world. I try not to hold on to things, physical things, that is. But I've been having a lot of stress about all these magazines, and it wasn't until today that I had a notion of what the heck to do with them. So I think I've got a solution. Because honestly, you're like, well, Chris, why don't you keep the magazines around? You do want to submit to them. Well, I think that's what I've realized, is that I don't necessarily want to submit to them. I'm really embracing my identity as a sort of micro writer publisher. There's an interesting movement out there in the YouTube community called No Small Creator, and I agree with a lot of their principles. But I'm kind of not upset about being a small creator anymore. I'm not sort of obsessed with getting my name in any of these magazines. Although I do have a story out to Post Road that I still haven't heard about. I have this great website that I've been working on for clarkwoods.com that I've been working on for ages and ages and ages, and life's too short to not fully commit to this sort of indie path that I've set myself on. I self-published my own comic book with my dad's help when I was 13, 14 years old, and that's the kid that I want to listen to. He had the energy, and I want to stay true to him. So I'm gonna give these magazines away. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get them off my shelf. I'm gonna bring them in my office tomorrow. And I'm going to feel a lot better about myself. And isn't that the end goal of any given day? I think it is.